A very special guest here with us this afternoon. You may recognize Komal, Minhas, a film producer and head of co-media. It's hard to believe she looks so young to be so accomplished, but she's just returned from the red carpet to be with us from TIFF in Toronto. So we're absolutely thrilled to have her with us today. She's here to join us to share her passion for empowering women and girls and to tell us why this is so important. I think her story is truly inspirational, and so we're so thrilled that she's with us today. So let me thank each of you again for joining us for this wonderful feast that we're having. Please take the time to participate in the many activities that I know are being organized in the coming weeks by the campaign team, and remember that every little bit counts. So many thanks and welcome to Komal.
Hello everybody. Can you guys hear in the back there? I know it's probably very loud by the street traffic, so if everyone wants to move up a bit, I would totally be down for that. Or not. Whatever you so please. I don't bite, I promise. I want to start by saying thank you. Thank you to Anita and Katrina, and to the whole GCWCC team here at CIC. That's a lot of acronyms that I've had to practice saying, not being a public servant. And I also want to say that I'm so grateful that I'm here with CIC to do this launch. I'm a first-generation Canadian. The hard work that you all do every day is so meaningful to so many people. And I think the excellence of your department is reflected in the quality and character that each one of you bring to your work every day. And I'm glad to say 4 of my dearest friends work for CIC, so it's a great, I'm so grateful to be here today. So, knowing I had an opportunity to share part of my story with you all today had me in a really reflective mood all weekend. What could I say to a very well-educated, committed, high-functioning group of public servants that would resonate and enable a positive dialogue around service and giving? And how could I help enable you all to best serve during the time of this campaign and beyond? What do I have to offer you to move forward in a meaningful way for our community today? All I have is my story and lived experiences. And so today I offer them to you in hopes that you'll find some of it useful. There's one word that came to mind as I was writing this speech: seva. This is a word for selfless service in Sanskrit and in my native tongue of Punjabi. It is also a mantra that is embedded in the core of my life. We are here to serve without ego and without expectation. We are here to serve to uplift humanity in whatever small or large way that we can. Growing up, my parents never made a big deal out of giving back. It was part of our daily experience. From having cousins and family friends move into and out of our house over the years as they immigrated to Canada, to having countless folks over for dinner every night, to driving around on election day in Grand Prairie, Alberta, my hometown, with my dad, picking people up from work so that they could go to the polling stations. Service was embedded in my culture and my daily family life. I was and continue to be in awe of my mother's resilience. Her ability to show up for others is bar none. When anything went down in our community, she was the first to be called to help. The most humbling of which was last year, after a young man in our community took his life. His name was Baljit. My mom was called in to help his parents and plan a service for the community. There was not a moment of hesitation in her reaction. She entered the situation in the only way she knew how, and that was to help, to listen, and to serve. I would call her each night and hear the exhaustion in her voice, but she would not complain. She knew the gravity of the situation, and knowing that she was able to help fueled her every day. Coming from a home like this, service became a foundational element of my life. And it is the biggest reason why I became an entrepreneur. A few months following Baljit's funeral, I made a trip back home and visited his mother. She asked me that day to help bring awareness to the experiences of depression, addiction, and suicide in an effort to prevent others from taking their lives. I looked into her eyes and knew she and Baljeet would be embedded in my soul. I could not undo our bond, and I would work in whatever way I could, big or small, to share their story, to uplift and to help enable change. So thank you for giving me that opportunity today. The Parents' Lifelines of Eastern Ontario has helped countless parents to bring their children back from the edge. As a United Way partner, their work is directly affected by your campaign and the hours that you give. If Baljeet and his mother had the support they needed, both as new immigrants and victims of an abusive addict, Baljeet's fate could have shifted. Sadly, his story can't change, but we can work together to help change the lives of so many other youth burdened by the weight of their lives. This is the kind of change you are helping make in our community. This is what you are contributing to throughout this campaign. This is why it matters. Whether it is your time or your dollars, you are making a meaningful difference in ways you can't even imagine. I read the stories of the GCWCC website and of your colleagues who have given back to their communities as a result of their personal experiences with disability, Aboriginal issues, early pregnancy, and so much more. I was so inspired to see how deeply personal these experiences were and how powerful your colleagues' responses were. Often, when giving becomes institutionalized, it loses its heart. But heart is what we need to make the greatest impact in this world. It's what helps us to truly change the lives of people around us and others if we choose. My partner, Mitch, works in the public service. When I told him I was speaking here today, he urged me to speak to the importance of giving time throughout the campaign. For millennials, simply giving money does not satisfy our internal need to give. Giving our time, energy, and skills is what helps us feel connected to our communities and more deeply to ourselves. So do that. If you are encumbered by giving only dollars, make an effort with your colleagues or on your own to engage face-to-face with our community, to see the community this campaign is giving to. That's what has continued to change my life. One of the most powerful moments I've experienced in the past few years was when I was sitting in the south of India with a group of older women who had asked me to sing them a song in Hindi. This was a group of women who received microloans from an organization that was supported by Coca-Cola Global, and I was there as a storyteller to share their stories with the world. I started off singing quietly. One by one, they joined in. Suddenly, one of the women had a drum. Before we knew it, the whole room was dancing. In that moment, I was so happy and so moved. I started crying while we were dancing. I'd spent the last week seeing extreme poverty in my motherland. I saw firsthand the experiences of women of my own culture who were being held down by patriarchy. But in this moment, we were free together. Their collective resilience and power was so moving. When I get down about my daily work, or about the stories of the women we are engaging with each day, I think of that day, and it reminds me of the power of showing up, of serving, and of listening. I know it's my sole mission in life to help improve the lives of women and girls globally. I'm producing a film right now called Dream Girl. It showcases the inspiring and powerful stories of female CEOs and entrepreneurs in order to inspire this next generation of leaders, this next generation of young women to become very powerful leaders. We know the names of Mark Zuckerberg and Steve Jobs, but who are the female founders? What do their lives look like? We know one thing for sure, that we can't be what we can't see. I don't know how many of you guys watched the Emmys last night, but I was floored when I saw Viola Davis win for the Emmy for Outstanding Actress in a Drama Series. She was the first woman of color to win. She said, "The only thing that separates women of color from anyone else is opportunity. You cannot win an Emmy for roles that simply are not there." That's my why. I want to increase the roles, representation, and opportunities for women in the media. I know we are on the cusp of great change for diverse, real, and complicated women in traditional media and across the world in all sectors. I think this is a powerful example sitting right next to me. Both your deputy minister and champion are women. But it happens not all at once, but one moment at a time. One act of selfless service at a time, and 1 year at a time. Know that your being here in Canada in a capacity to raise tens of millions of dollars as a collective for our national community is worth it. You are playing a role every day in making small and large impacts on the lives of many. That is no small feat. You all inspire me, and I hope together we can keep working within this campaign and through our daily work, the very important work that you all do, to selflessly serve in an effort to change not only the lives of others, but our own along the way. Thank you so much.